Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin flying round the field. Starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season and people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
Hello, everybody. We here. We back. Newest episode of the Starting Five podcast. I am your boy, the mayor. That DJ named Ace 5, your mom's favorite fat guy. All the way today, definitely from deepest, darkest Africa, but the coldest region of Africa. And I'm alongside.
What up, y'all? This is your boy TJ, co-host of the Starting Five. Good to see you, gentlemen. Jamal, what's good? How are you today, sir?
What's good? TJ, what's good, man? Thank y'all for having me on again. Appreciate it on this fine, mild Sunday evening.
Indeed. As always, to my right, top and bottom, if you see the QR codes, please check those out to get a part of the Starting Five podcast and the link tree. Go ahead, Dan.
Only the top one. I gotta do some updating on the graphics on the borders and shit. But the bottom one, as I learned, shout out to the homie Juno from That's Absurd podcast. He let me know that the bottom one wasn't working, and the homie Lou from the BX, from the Everything podcast, he let me know. He reminded me about the link tree situation, and I should use that. And that's what the top one next to TJ's head is all about. That's the link tree that you need to go to. That is the official QR code that definitely works. So I'll be editing that bottom corner. There we go. That bottom corner, I'll be editing that up to get that shit straight. But yeah, forget the QR codes for now because we'll remind y'all that at the end of the week, at the end of the show. Jamal, how's your week been? How's everything been with you, brother?
Good, man. I can't complain. Had some good sports this week. Looking forward to the upcoming some good games out there. Looking forward to that, but I can't complain.
Yeah, I could dig it. TJ, how's everything been with yourself?
You know what? It's been an interesting week, but in a positive sense. Like, it's been very good. No complaints. Like Jamal said, it's been great.
Oh shit!
Snuffleupagus. Go ahead.
Yo, no, my bad. Because I took myself on camera to blow my nose, but I forgot to press mute.
Yo.
Holy
anyway,
shit.
it's been a good week for New York sports. I can't complain. It's been a good week personally. So life is good. We're heading into, we're careening into the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? Christmas and New Year's is upon us, and now we got to deal with this ugly ass music for the next 3.5 weeks. So it is here. Might as well make the most of it, right?
Dude, as y'all know, as everybody knows, I am a Christmas baby. And I absolutely fucking hate Christmas music. Yo, like gospel music, Christmas music, top country music, maybe country music, but
I can listen to some country, but
I mean, yeah,
Not
there's
Christmas.
songs here and there, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like, nah, Christmas music
Trash.
trash, gospel music trash. While we on that though, you know what? I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Jamal? While I look up something.
I don't do country. I can take Christmas music within a reasonable amount of time, you know, close to Christmas during the holidays, you know, certain albums I'm good with. I just can't do like 24/7 radio of Christmas music all the time, starting on November fucking 3rd. So that's the first one. Gospel music, yeah, you know, I gotta love gospel music in a certain way, only because that's the foundation of good American music, pop music. Everything we gave the world came through gospel. So I'll always respect it. So if I had to get rid of one, it'd be country. Sorry, though.
Nah, I'm no, you said
I'm
y'all
good.
don't
I'm
like
good
the
for a church
Temptations
hymn.
Silent Night. I mean, there's the occasional Christmas song that's tolerable, like this one here. I gotta say shout outs to Obi Mom Kenobi on TikTok because I've been following some funny ass people. This woman, professional, just listen to this song. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yo. I had to play that because there's this whole trend about this video saying, "Oh no, our table is broken." It's this little black kid who took bricks and put them on a glass table, and yeah, just think about putting bricks on a glass table. But everybody on TikTok has been doing some type of remix saying, "Oh no, our table is broken." And when I seen her video, she was like, "That's the only Christmas song that I'll accept." And I was like, I commented something like, "You are absolutely fucking right. That's the only way I will listen to that song or listen to
Now
any
listen.
Christmas music."
Listen, I'm good for a good soul music Christmas. Like I could get with that. But that shit don't get played often enough. You got all these dry ass, corny ass, weak ass Christmas songs, and that shit just leads you to want to kill somebody at the end of the day, bro. You know what my go-to Christmas shopping music is? The Don't Stop Get It song with Lil Wayne and fucking French Montana. I listen to that shit on full blast when I'm shopping, Christmas shopping. People look at me like I'm crazy. I be in there standing on the line like, don't stop, get it. Yeah, just...
Nah, no thanks. No,
I can't do it. I can't do it.
I mean, I on the tip of gospel, just talking real quick, like the only way gospel gets a pass from me, how I like to say is like when you sneak the medicine in the candy or whatever, and when it's in house music. That's the one way that is it's terrible, and it's more within soul house music.
There's holiday house music?
No, I said gospel music.
Oh, gospel music. Okay.
Yes.
I was like, if there was holiday house music, you about to put me on to something because I never heard holiday house music before.
Nah, dude.
Yeah, I don't listen to gospel outside of church, so like
Word.
It stays in the church. Like once you leave that building, it's a wrap. That's
what stays. I'm with you.
Speaking of random, because we on just some random shit. I found the video that I was trying to tell y'all about that was remixed in that Mariah Carey song that was just on the TikTok. But this is the original.
What?
Hold on. He's gonna make a mess. Go ahead.
He's gonna make a mess.
Easy.
Oh no!
Whoa!
Why? Why? Oh my god!
Well, the table broke. I don't know why. I don't know why the hell that is so fucking funny. but that shit
But
is
why?
hilarious.
But what was the adult doing at that whole time watching this shit
That's
go
what my thing
down?
is. Like, yo, was there an adult in that room? Why the hell are they playing Jenga with bricks on a
Yes,
glass
it's
table?
that. It sounded like there was because it's like, oh no, he about to make a mess. But
Yo,
anyway, what's not fully gonna be a mess is this show, and you know what will be a mess? We're gonna get into our games of the week because we always pick like shit. This week, this week we're gonna stick in the NBA, and y'all know how we do this. Pick a day of the week, with the exception of today, because we're going so late on a Sunday. Once we get these done, we got a special guest coming through. Hello, Miss Ruiz. Yes, that is me. Ashy hands and all. And yes, Hollis, I would have went off on my kids. You're damn right. The kids probably would have got super kicked through the glass that fell on the table. But y'all know what to do. Games of the week. Pick a day of the week, and I will read off the week's games. The day's games.
Mr. Jamal, since you're a guest on the show, you go first, sir.
I'm gonna go with Tuesday.
Okay. So we got Tuesday. And for Tuesday's games, we have
There's only one
Knicks
game that matters.
Nets. I
That's it.
guess that's what you're picking. You can go right ahead.
My brother, you know, it's the New York Knickerbockers going to their second home in Brooklyn, where we got more fans than the home team, right? And going to go in there, and I'm picking these Knicks to go in there and beat them Nets
Woo.
because we gave them some good run last year, and we had less talent, and
Indeed.
these boys got a chip on their shoulder this year. And I all due respect to the Nets, they still number one, and they still got talent. They could probably still shoot us out the gym, but I'm still picking the Knicks to win this one in the close one, and have the Barclays Center screaming, "Let's go Knicks!" Like they was doing in Philly. If y'all didn't catch the last game in Philly, y'all heard
Yeah.
the Philly crowd chant, "Let's go
Yeah.
Knicks!" Right? I
Yeah.
let all the Sixers
Yeah.
fans get a pass on that. I didn't bring that up, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, they was tight about that shit.
yes.
Well, I'm
Tight about it.
co-signing your pick for obvious reasons.
The reason I'm co-signing your pick is because the Knicks play defense and the Nets pretend to play defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with us winning, like you said, a close one, maybe by like 5 or 6 points. It's not going to be more than that, unless it gets hurt or the Nets just have a total collapse. But Durant is Durant and Harden is Harden. They're going to get theirs. It's just about shutting down the role players on that team, and we do have the better bench, so we should come out ahead on this by a few points. I'm with you, Mr. Armstrong. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, TJ.
All right.
Let's see. Do you have a game in mind, or do you want me to pick You want to pick a day and we
You
go?
know, I'll randomize it because I'm not going to be the homer. So let's go Thursday.
All right, let me open up this calendar a little further because it only stopped me on Tuesday for some reason. So where are we at? Tuesday. Why the fuck did NBA.com just stop me at Tuesday? So let's open this up. All right, you know what? Hide. Mother sucker. Oh, no wonder. It stopped me on Tuesday because December starts Wednesday. So Thursday, we have Bulls Knicks, Bucks Raptors, Thunder Grizzlies, Pistons Suns, Spurs Blazers, and that's it.
I'm going to go with the first one because I think my Knicks are going to beat the Bulls. But Thursday, Bucks Raptors. That should be an interesting game. The Bucks got a little resurgence now. I think Middleton's on his way back, and they're playing decent ball. But the Raptors, you can't sleep on that team, man. They beat a lot of good teams already. They're definitely a scrappy team. They're going to go down fighting. Nick Nurse got these guys playing well. They're a very long team, lanky team. I think the average height of the team is like 6'6", 6'7". So they got bodies to throw at them. The key is, containing Giannis. Like, you don't have to shut them down per se, but if you can keep them on the perimeter, it definitely enhances your chances of winning. And like I said, the Bucks got long bodies, so they can crash the boards and turn this one out. I can see the Raptors winning in a close one, squeaking it out, maybe like by 2-3 points, maybe free throws decide the game. I'm going with the Raptors.
I'll stay in Bucks. Just as far superior team, even though do the Bucks have bench depth like seasons past? I don't know. I'm just still taking the MVP over everybody. That's what I'm going with. And you kept saying they were long. I just kept saying pause, and you didn't hear me.
I heard you, but I heard you, but I'm talking about basketball. Damn it, fuck y'all.
I'm gonna
Jamal.
go with the Bucks. I think they're gonna go
Okay.
up north and get that W. I think they are on the mend. They're finding their footing again. And although it's a winnable game for the Raptors, because the Raptors can beat anybody at any time, but I think the Bucks are too much right now. They trend in the right way.
Okay, well said.
Cool. I'm gonna go. I'll leave y'all to the last two picks for the fourth and fifth games. I'm going to Friday, December 3rd. Lakers Clippers. And I'm only bringing this up because I want to have a quick side conversation on what we missed out on during the week, which is LeBron and the 1-game suspension against the dude from the Pistons. Because I wanted to say some things on that shit because a lot of people was trying to give LeBron passes and all of that. But these Clippers, like, I don't know what the Clippers are really doing this season. Like, I haven't seen too much of them. Plus, we haven't been hearing too much about them so far this year. LA has been a shit show for the most part. Like they're looking like the aging veteran team that they are. But I will roll with the Lakers on this one, just off GP. I don't really have no in-depth analysis because I want to talk about the scrap.
This a pride game for the Lakers right here? You know what I'm saying? You're right, Dan. They do look like an old team, and like I said in previous shows, I don't know how you can pick this team going all the way with these guys getting injured so often. AD is the only one that hasn't been seriously injured yet, so he might be up next. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
With LeBron being out for a few weeks, Melo hasn't gotten injured because he's coming off the bench, so he's preserving himself pretty well. They just don't seem like they have enough to go far. I mean, you look at Denver, you look at the way Golden State is playing right now. Even the Clippers without Kawhi, they've been holding their own. Do they have enough to beat the Lakers? If they run, I mean, the Lakers ain't going to be a running team. You got to try to run these guys off the floor. You saw what the Knicks did with the young boys when they got out there. So, that might be the case. I'm gonna lean towards the Clippers on this one because the Lakers haven't really impressed me at all this year with anything.
I'm bad on the mute. I feel you on that. Like they haven't been impressive really at all. It's just the most I've been hearing about the Lakers is like, what the fuck is Russell Westbrook doing out there? Like everybody feels Westbrook is just not fitting in. Like he's just doing too much out there. And then there's everybody else. Then it's plug and play any old nigga that you want here, there, whatever it is. Like that's just kind of what the Lakers feel like. It feels like one big mess. It feels like, everybody once again is looking at LeBron James to do anything and everything because they swore that's what Michael Jordan did. And people who think LeBron is better than Michael Jordan is crazy because of yada, yada, yada. And LeBron's not doing this. LeBron's not doing that. And that's just kind of all I've been getting from out of any reports out of the Lakers.
It's a sad state of affairs in LA right now.
Jamal?
I don't know who the Lakers are. I don't know what their identity is, man. It's like it's a different team every night. So, I'm gonna go with the team that's got the most continuity right now. I think the Clippers are gonna take that game.
Yo, excuse me on the mutes today, man. My bad. This being getting over being has got me on some slow shit right now. But anyway, side note, let's get into this LeBron James Isaiah Stewart fight. I mean, shout out to Hollis with the comments. He said, I think LeBron James meant to hit him like, get off me, but I don't think he meant to fuck him up. That's the way that now everybody says it was the elbow. When I looked at the video, it looked like it was his hand almost raked him in the face.
No, he damn near punched him in the face, bro.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
but the hand caught him though. It wasn't really the elbow. Like it looked like the elbow missed, and it was like bang, like he like clocked him in the face. And then yeah, like what Isaiah Stewart reminded me of was me in a way. Not getting hit in the face, but like being charged up, damn near crying after it got hit. If y'all can see through the ashiness, that scar through the ashiness, right? Just not the ashy knuckle, right there. I got hit with an umbrella after beating up. Now, a person who's a friend of mine, but beating him up on a bus stop, and he's hit me with an umbrella out of nowhere. When the fight's done, I see a big gash, and my hand was purple. That's how much blood came out. And I lost my shit after I seen the blood. Isaiah decided to lose his shit once his eye and his face started leaking. And people were talking that like, oh, you know, he came like, oh, why is he acting tough? Then he was right there close. He should have,
right.
Why didn't he do something when he was closer? Sometimes you don't react the same until you start to feel that warmness come down your face or come down on your hand or come down anywhere and you get hit. You don't act the same right away because it didn't register right away.
Right.
And then I found out people was giving like, and I love LeBron James. I'm a big fan of LeBron, just like everybody else. But people kept giving LeBron passes, like, "Oh, you don't do that to the king. You don't step to the king. You don't mess with the king." And then, as I learned by listening to ESPN one of these days, I heard that this cat Isaiah Stewart was a boxer, trained boxer in New York State. I believe he was from New York State, right, TJ? Something like that. I heard he was from somewhere upstate.
Okay, not 100% with it, but I gotta look it up.
But I heard that the kid was a trained boxer. So, do you really think that we're really giving LeBron this pass because he is who he is to somebody who can possibly and potentially throw hands?
Learning that he's a trained boxer just now, then his reaction
I don't know how official that is, but
right. So then his reaction should have been even more reactionary after he got hit in the face. Like he shouldn't have stood there. It seemed like LeBron was apologizing to him or something like that, and then he wilded out. But like, I don't know, if you're a trained boxer, then getting hit in the face should be something normal to you at some point. I know you don't expect it in the NBA, but it happens. You shouldn't get that type of reaction. I mean, it was a lot of showmanship and drama right after that. I mean, he knocked down like he ran through like 3 or 4 people to try to get at LeBron at one point. And it was in Detroit, and then like flashbacks of Malice in the Palace. I don't know if you heard the PA announce. He was like, everybody stay in their seats. You will go to jail. You know what I'm saying? If you try to rush the court, players need to stay on the sidelines. It was definitely they were definitely conscious of what was about to happen if it went too far.
I'll give you a quick fact check update because I did hear on ESPN that he boxed before, but this website I was reading was saying that no, he wasn't a trained boxer. So who knows what the truth is? You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And actually, the soap dealer said he was a New York State boxer. So thank you for that one. Well, the soap dealer is going to be our guest coming up in a few minutes once we have finished with this. But yeah, so I guess but still, if you are a trained boxer, Jamal, part of training is discipline.
True. I just don't think you expect to get tagged like that on the court. So I'm okay with him losing it. It went a little extra. I mean, I get it. Once that blood starts going down your face, you can get tight. I get that. You know, he had his Hulk moment. He ran up some people. They stopped him, and then he calmed down again. He's like, okay. and then the rest it became a show after a while. You know, it was a little extra. You know, LeBron's not a dirty player. That was a dirty fucking move. And
Right.
you know, he got suspended, and you know, it is what it is.
But that was my problem, though. That was there was my problem. It wasn't to me, yeah, it wasn't a dirty play. That was a shit happens type of moment. You know what I'm saying? That literally was like a shit happens type of moment. So, and it didn't legitimately look dirty because anything happens down there from elbows to, you're not looking at who, you know, even though that one was he was behind him, it went in front of him and caught him like this, you know? And yeah, I still don't think it was dirty. I still don't think it was dirty. But the dirty part was the league kind of be like, well, we got to give you something, King. You know, that's kind of like how that was. It was like, well, we got to give you something, but we want to get this guy with more. And it should have been the other way around.
The only reason he got more because he was extra, though, Dan. That was the only reason he got more.
They're not trying to have another riot, man. That's the only reason. Like,
but speaking,
can't do that. Yeah.
Speaking of boxing, Dan, I don't know if you watched the fight last night, but Lopez versus Cambosis. That was a sad day for the Lopez camp. Your man lost all his straps, and he's not looking. Yeah, he took an L. He took a big L last night. It might be a wake up call for him, as some were saying, and he doesn't even want the rematch. Yeah. He doesn't even want the rematch, Jamal. He wants to go right up to 140. So
first, they came out saying that he was injured before the fight. I saw that little seed coming before the fight time.
Low hanging fruit, you know what I'm saying?
And then afterwards, they say he was having trouble, you know. And that's his son, senior. His father was saying, I shouldn't have made my son a weight drain like that. We're moving up to 140, and I get all stuff. I think it was a good wake-up call, and it could happen now. We see what T.O. can do. T.O. is the man at 135. He's an animal. But that success got to him too early.
It did.
And they had all that. They had that long layoff and that inactivity, and they was talking all that mess. I don't got to fight them other champions. They need to come to me. Why? Why do I need to entertain? I was like, yo, you're doing too much talking, fam. You're doing too much talking. You got 4 possible kings approaching a prime right now, and none of y'all is fighting each other. And you're going to allow a Buster Douglas to come in and dirty. And that's what happened. When Cambosis came to the ring, I said, "Oh, this dude, he looks like he's 130 pounds, not even a lightweight." And T.O. he looked like he had no stamina, no game plan, nothing, man.
There was no game plan.
I don't know what
there was no game plan. T.O. thought it was going to be a quick wash. He'd be out of there in 4 or 5 rounds because he was leading with overhand rights like the first 3 rounds. He wasn't even trying to work the body. He wasn't even boxing. He was doing his best Deontay Wilder impersonation, going for the knockout. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and Cambosis
was off. Yeah, everything.
Cambosis
was ugly.
Right, and Cambosis came in there, knew one was at stake, and getting 4 straps in one shot, and he wasn't going to miss his opportunity. Cambosis could have been beaten, though. I mean, I think Lopez is a better boxer than he is, but when you go in with no game plan and no strategy, this is what's going to happen. Like if he had a fight plan, a game plan for it, he would have won most likely. But he went in thinking he was just going to wash dude up and then move up, and that didn't happen. It didn't happen.
I think he'd get him out of there. Really, if they ran this back and he had a real camp,
right?
He would get Cambosis out there inside of 8. I got no
easily. Oh, I'm with you on that.
But you know, he looked slow. He didn't look. His balance was off. He didn't look. I don't know what they were doing.
He wasn't sharp. No, you're right. He wasn't sharp at all. He wasn't the Lopez that we've seen in his previous 17, 18 fights. So
he looked gassed early.
After the 4th round, he was sucking wind for sure. Yeah, Pause, Dan.
Where was this fight on? Because I didn't even know there was a fight on.
It was on Dazn, but but everybody streamed that shit illegally. Yeah, everybody was watching it off a stream.
Yeah, I probably should have popped in. It probably was somebody was on TikTok streaming it live somewhere or something.
But that fight should have never went the distance. First of all, like Jamal was saying, that fight should have never went the distance. Cambosis was definitely open for big shots. Lopez didn't take advantage of it because he was off his game. He was out of character, and he had no game plan. And his corner didn't help him out at all. If he was listening to his corner, they were way behind, and they needed to tighten his game up and bring him in closer and like get that phone booth fighting style, because Lopez would have took advantage of that, and none of that happened. He was catching him with his jab. He should have led with his jab the whole night, and that would have kept him off of him. But Lopez, like you said, Jamal, he had no game plan, no discipline, and he was going in for a quick dub, and he ended up catching an L.
Especially when
It's a bad loss for him.
He realized Cambosis could take his shot. That was it. So.
Yeah, I need to step my fight game shit up, because you know what it is there's so many names out there that like are known, lesser known, like a lot of lesser known cats, and it's so many. It's just so many places that fights happen nowadays that it's like I don't pay attention to where.
Well, this was in the Garden. This was in the Garden,
yeah.
Dan.
No, but I didn't know the fight was going on. I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if I'm not paying attention to the zone shit, I don't know. If I'm not paying attention, Triller shit seems to get bigger publicity as far as the promotion is concerned and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like you see the freaking Triller shit more than I didn't know about this one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew about the what is the Porter fight last week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I knew about that one, but I heard about that one like last minute. Like I didn't, last minute, where if I was
that was a great fight too. That was a great fight too.
Yeah, I heard.
Respect to Sean Porter on that.
But it's just the way that boxing promotions, like, it seems to be happening. It's like there's just so many. There's just so many that are going.
There's a lot of good boxers in the middle, in the lightweight classes now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
just pay attention
flooded.
to the weight classes. Yeah, 147 and 135 are incredible.
Yeah, there's just phenomenal talent, a glutton of phenomenal talent out there, and it's only getting better. So it's very exciting.
You know what my thing? I've said it here though in the past before though, is that I've always been a heavyweight guy. I've always been a heavyweight fight fan, and what feels like the heavyweight pool being so small nowadays, the littler guys have always been where a lot of the more exciting, you could say more entertaining fights for like the boxing purists. But let's keep it real. The heavyweight fight has always been the biggest draw in the sport, unless you're a Mayweather, unless you're a Canelo, with these are names that build themselves to like, stratospheric levels that like they are must see. Like the whole every Mexican comes out for Canelo type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to worry about promotions for Canelo fight. I could just go to Port Richmond, shout out to my old neighborhood, and I know a Mexican is fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like when Mayweather fights, every nigga comes out of the woodworks as a boxing fan and a boxing expert. But who brings everybody together traditionally? Jamal, the heavyweight has always, for the most part, has brought in everybody.
Yeah, it's a desert right now. It's an unskilled weight class, man, ruled by oversized giants. I mean, and the guy who's the best has the most skills, which is Tyson Fury. But even his fights are ugly. You know what I mean? There's a couple guys coming up. This kid Frank Sanchez, the Cuban guy, it's the first heavyweight I've seen that looks like a real heavyweight and has skills to go with it. We'll see what his chin is like. I mean, we thought Anthony Joshua might have been that, but I don't think he's interested in boxing anymore. No, man.
He's washed. He's washed.
And Ruiz broke him down. So, there's a shortage of heavyweights right now. It has been for a quick minute. And you're right. People want to see Titans fight, and right now, the champion Titan is Tyson Fury, and he's entertaining. But
we were spoiled in the late '80s, early '90s with the heavyweight division. Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis. You know what I'm saying?
Riddick Bowe
versus Holyfield. Those wars. You know what I'm saying? There was a ton of like quality, solid heavyweights. And we've been really, really spoiled. And in the last 10 years, we haven't gotten the same product that we've gotten in the previous earlier years. So
right. Well, no,
it's been a disappointment.
We only got the Klitschko brothers dominating everybody that was put in front of them.
Yeah, they
what
were
I'm
fighting
saying?
tomato
Like,
cans, though. They were fighting tomato cans, bro.
yeah,
I mean,
but people said that about Tyson too. But Tyson, what do we say about in any game though? You beat who's in front of you.
yeah,
It don't matter if it's
yeah.
a tomato can, if the tomato can is Heinz or no frills. And I'm talking no frills with the white label with the black lettering and the blue and red pathmark stripe, no frills. Like, you beat who's in front of you.
Indeed.
Plain and simple, you beat who's in front of you. And if I mean, take it or leave it, the promoters are the ones who kind of decides who goes with who. But in essence, they're professional athletes. You're still the best of said sport to be able to compete on those levels. That's why I kind of strayed away from just in general when it comes to sports in general. Calling professional athletes bums or busts, or like we had the conversation before, bums or busts. There's an episode from a few weeks back where I personally fell off of that because take that bum that you calling a bum every night that might score 2 points a game, 5 points a game, sees 4 or 5 minutes in a game. Take him to your league that you play in. You know what I'm saying? Take him to a semi-pro league a notch below or the G League and watch them scrape up. Just think in basketball, watch them scrape up that whole league.
Your man's gonna be MVP of the league.
Exactly. Take anybody on like the Jacksonville Jaguars or the freaking the Texans right now,
and put him on your flag football team.
You know what I'm saying?
Put that guy on their flag football team and watch him dominate the regular weekend warrior 9-to-5 guy.
Exactly.
They do this for a living, people. They do this for a living, people. Tyson fought bums, if you want to call them that. Freaking Fury fought bums, or the Klitschko's fought bums, if you want to call them that. Them bums will break your face in. Anybody who's not a trained boxer, them bums would break your face in. Try them in the street. I think they're calling them bums because they're the lowest level in their profession. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we're equating them on the level of champions, like, everybody, there's always, you got a person that you work with that is just ass at their job. You're like, God damn, man, you can't get it together for this. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, see, my job, I can take anybody and get them to do my job. So yes, I get what you're saying.
Right.
There are some shitty people. Like, I mean, well, for what I do at work, working in the garage, yeah, some of these guys need to just be picking up garbage in the street and not working inside. There's a difference.
Right.
There's a difference.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I get, but even still, I could take you and make you a good sanitation worker. You know what I'm saying? Like this, my job, different story. Because you could take anybody at my job. They literally take anybody who passes a test. You know what I'm saying? But pro athlete, different level, different story. But enough of that. We got her on camera finally. Let's bring in, as she's typing away, this woman never not working. We got the soap dealer. We got the soap dealer just literally bouncing around. She wanted to tell us about the business. She wanted to tell us about the soaps. I need to tell her.
I said, send me that test.
Huh?
I said, send me that test.
Send you the test. Oh shit. Yeah. It's coming out next year, I heard.
Right, yo, because I videoed you before and you just chilling. Yo, I videoed Dan before. Dan, I'm not trying to blow you up right now. Dan's been like this. Legs up. Him like, yo, what up, Liz? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, the fuck kind of job you got?
Hey, that's where the experience comes in.
That test. That's the test I want.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be good at what you do to be able to create the time to have your feet up.
This is my calling. That's my calling.
But anyway, bring your ass back on camera. Let's talk about the soap dealer business for a minute. Again, never not working. The woman is in the background creating, making soaps as we speak. So you want to talk about a spotlight of business, man? Like
Melted fingers over there.
No.
TJ,
What
because I
is-
have told TJ, Dan, I haven't told you much about it. I don't think at all, but I got 2nd degree and 3rd degree burns on my fingers.
Shit.
Like I have.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I'll send you pictures. I have bandages on now. When the bandages are on, they're forget it, amazing.
God damn.
I don't feel anything.
So
Like
you live and die for the business.
it's great. I had a baby shower to do. I went to the baby shower today. I left like at 4 something. But yeah, it was. I think it was the first time that I saw that like shit's gonna happen on the job, you know. And you got to keep the job going because here I am still with the fucking fingers melted, like TJ said. And thank you, Hollis. Thank you. No, I do feel better. When I have these bandages on, for some reason, I feel good. When they're off, it's just it's painful. It's like somebody has a torch to my fingers.
Shit.
It's crazy.
Damn it. Well, we need those fingers to heal up as best and as quick as possible because one, you make a phenomenal product. And Jamal, I don't know if you shopped with the soap dealer yet. TJ, I know you. Oh, okay, good. So we all got some experience with the soap dealer product. But anyway, I mean, what? So I mean,
I'm gonna send you some shit. You can be like, oh, hold on a minute.
Send them what I buy. Send them what I buy. But I mean, first off, I mean, I know
you like that. That's like a very specific. If you want to talk about what you buy, but that's a very specific.
All right, well, TJ, the charcoal and tea tree. It gets this ashy ass skin right.
Okay.
But no, TJ. I got other stuff that ashy skin right that you would like.
Okay. I'm here.
So I'll send you a sampler.
Nice.
Well, let the people know like the inspiration for the business, how it started, the beginnings, your humble beginnings of you, the soap dealer.
So I don't know. I don't really know what like the inspiration and like the humble beginnings were. I know that I was watching a commercial one day, and I don't even remember what the commercial was about. But there was no soap involved. It was just like it was like a holiday basket for something, and I thought of the Subway series.
Yo, this is the most random. All right, keep going.
Isn't it random? I was like, I'm gonna do soap because they were doing lotion, they were doing candles, they were doing everything except soap, and I'm like, who the fuck do soap?
Well, if the pandemic has taught us anything, people don't wash their hands, much less their ass. So
that's true.
Yep. So you came in right on time.
That's right.
This was before the pandemic, though. That I thought about this. I've been thinking about this for years. So I was just like, I think this would be a good idea if I did the Subway series, which I have it right here behind me.
Nice.
And by Subway series, I mean Mets and Yankees. I could do other Subway Series, Giants and Jets. If anybody
No,
wants
there's
to
only one. There's only
just
one. And you said
die.
it backwards.
So I was doing it. I kept it to myself for a very long time. I kept it to myself for about a year, maybe more than that. And then one day, I'm gonna have to block my grandmother from this video. We was going to dinner to Peter Luger's in Brooklyn. And she was hitting us up, and meaning me and my brother, my Irish twin. She was like, "Oh, it's really snowing and it's raining, and we shouldn't go out, whatever." And we just didn't want to deal with her, you know. So we were like, "Fuck it, we're going." So she was like, "Maybe we should cancel for another time." And I was like, "Yeah, no doubt, we're gonna cancel for another time." I hit him up. I was like, "Yo, we're going. We're not canceling for another time." And then he was the first person I told, and that was in February. And we're Irish twins, so we're less than a year apart. So he's February, on March. We were going for his birthday. And I was just like, we were in a cab, and I'm like, "Yo, I got this crazy idea, and I want to do it." He was like, "Tell me about it." And I told him all about it. There's still things that I told him about it that I wanted to do that I haven't done yet, like the Subway Series. I haven't done that yet. But there's other things that I haven't done yet that I'm going to do, because if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So, we're Irish twins, so following month, March, is my birthday. He buys me my first soap making kit. And he's like, "You're going to do it." Like, that was a dope idea. You know, you got it. You could do it. You know, no matter what you're doing, you know, during your day job, which is, I think all of you know, maybe Jamal doesn't know, but maybe all of you know, I work with the homeless during the day. It's time consuming. It's a lot of work. When he got me that kit, I was like, it's a wrap. I have one person. And sometimes it takes one person to believe in you. You know what I mean? And even though he's my brother, he's my twin, he's everything to me. It takes one person, and that's it. I had told TJ about it. I'm not gonna, sit here and lie. I had told TJ about it, that I wanted to start doing that. I told you about it, Dan.
Yep.
And then we got fucking quarantined.
Yep.
And I was saving money like a motherfucker. I had all my family here. Like, I had my dad, I had my little sister, I had my grandma, I had my brother, I had everybody here. Like, this was headquarters. And I was like, once I know my family is safe, whatever I want to do for myself, I'm going to do for myself.
Yeah, and you used your
did.
family, and you used your family as the test subjects too, which was great. You
Yeah,
had
because I
in-house
was
product
like,
testers.
I would be like, Daddy, could you please take this soap bar right here and just go take a shower? Yo, my dad is the best critic because he'd be like, that just stinks. We need to put a little more of something else like that, like. But then eventually, but he was right because I needed to get temperatures right because soaping isn't just like, oh, I just melted some soap and I poured it. Like right now, I burned my 2 fingers. I got a 2nd degree burn and a 3rd degree burn. The reason that happens is like, let's say like right here, this is a Vicks bar.
Yep.
So it's
I
half.
need one of those actually.
Oh, you were the first to try it. Thank you for even mentioning. Remember the issue I thought I was gonna have with it? Remember?
That's the Start 5 After Dark conversation. But yes, men.
No,
I will tell you.
let's tell the guys.
I'm joking.
Tell
Men,
the guys right now.
men. It works down
I'm like,
there.
it's okay.
Pause, yo.
I'm just saying. We keeping 1,000 on this show.
You menthol your balls, bro?
I didn't know, bro. I didn't even think that. It just hit me.
You menthol your balls, bro. Your balls are menthol now, huh?
It didn't burn.
I am trying to burn anybody's balls, anybody's ass crack. I'm sorry. Like, can we say this on the show? Like, we're good, right?
We've been down for how long? We say everything on this show. That's why I said yes. I was the first person to use the Vicks one.
Yes.
I bought the like I said, the charcoal and tea.
I have it here.
Which that one is a dope scent to use. But yes, I used the Vicks one. I even gave it to the wife. I think the wife used it. I think the kids might have used it. But
do you like anything else? Because this is Dan's favorite bar of soap.
That's the one right there. But the Vicks one, men.
Which CJ, I'm not telling you.
Okay.
TJ, you frozen. I don't know what happened, but you froze, brother. But
I'm
yeah,
good.
just to keep this moving along, man. She makes quality product. Like she sent along one time one of the massage bars that was like mango and something. Like my wife loved it, my daughters loved it. She does different things like lip balms and sugar scrubs for the lips, which my kids and the wife felt like they were amazing on the lips. She does beard balms. I haven't bought any of those yet.
Yo, I gotta tell you something. 2 seconds, please. I don't need to take any of your time.
No, we're just bigging you up as you
we were talking about the beard balm.
Yes.
And we were like, cool water.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, the old player scent, the cool water. Next up is
what was your comment? What was your comment about the cool water?
I forgot.
Oh, you forgot.
I forgot.
You were like, oh, that's like somebody's old uncle was gonna order that shit, whatever.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me tell you, somebody's old uncle ordered that shit. They ordered Polo Sport for me. I went to a baby shop saying they wanted 2 Polo Sport. They wanted 2 Black Talks. I was like, yo, y'all crazy. I didn't laugh at Polo Sport. I didn't even know that.
That we was in our 20s when Polo Sport was a thing.
Yo.
I'm gonna keep quiet about my cool water stories, so I'm gonna just bow out.
Tell 30 seconds, go.
No, it's not for this show. It's not for this show. It's not for this show. It's not. No.
15 seconds. Go.
No, I'm not saying it. Cool Water's been very, very good to me. That's all I'm saying.
Cool Water has been good to me too. I ain't gonna lie. Like when Dan was like, "Oh, that's for old uncles or whatever," I was like, "Fuck, I ain't putting it on my shit."
Dan just throwing old niggas under the bus. That's all.
Yes.
I was now a old nigga myself, but
I was like, I'm not putting that on my site at all, and I didn't. Never. Nope. Polar Sports. They're covering one. Calvin Klein. All that shit is on there now. I don't give a fuck. Polar Sport. They were two Polar Sport. They were like, yo, I'll Venmo you, no tax. So I was like, Venmo me. There you go. No problem.
but anyway, I mean, this was funny. We got to get into some of the serious topics now so we can get out of here. But Soap Dealer, I know you're gonna rock out with the rest of the show because we got some tough talk. And our guest here also, not even a guest anymore, but he said you got to make this one for the real grandpas out there. You see that?
I got it.
Fahrenheit.
Oh man, we start bringing back Burberry and shit like that too. Like, what are we doing, bro?
Just stay away from.
I'm gonna do Stetson.
No Stetson, please.
Just listen. Just do not do Michael Jordan cologne because you want people to smell clean and not like a bottle of sweat.
Oh my god.
You don't want people to smell like sweat.
I hate the Jamal who said Fahrenheit. I thought he said it twice. Lagerfield. I thought he was one. I thought he was David Jones.
No transparency. My pops still rocks Lagerfield. My pops been rocking Lagerfield for like 50 years. He still rocks.
Not too long ago, some lady was like, so do you have Stetson for my husband? And I'm like,
at least he's gonna make high karate and shit. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta bring all the old joints back, like some
or
something.
No,
like honey.
Jesus Christ!
There's a market for it.
You got to bring out
There's not a market for it when it's first person. I was like, honey, look, this is what I have, and this shit smells good. Okay.
Now, if you break out the for Sunset Park and you break out Jupe for all the old deals.
Oh,
you Sunset Park special.
I hate the from Sunset Park.
Jupe was good when it was out. That's all I'm gonna say.
I can bring it back, TJ. I can bring it back.
But see that we're talking stereotypes. So when you break it out, you got to do custom freestyle music advertising for it, though.
Yo, if I'm lying, I'm dying. This lady just ordered Cool Water, that's what made me laugh. She ordered Cool Water beard balm for her husband.
Ooh.
And I was like, yo, man.
She's trying to have more kids.
That's what it is.
She's trying to have more kids.
She asked me for the tracking number today, and I'm like, bitch, I barely made this for you for your health. Like, she asked me for the tracking number for today. I was just like, I can't believe it.
Just send it with a freestyle mixtape, and you'll get return customers.
I ain't gonna lie. Fahrenheit smells good. I ain't gonna lie.
But anyway, though, the jokes is funny. But just tell the people where they can find the Soap Dealer, and then we gotta get on to these last couple topics. But
David, if you're on, I see. Oh, there you are. You did put the hashtag. So David has been a supporter of mine for the longest, and you see the hashtag YLMTS. Young lady, make that soap. So he's been doing that for a while, and I appreciate that, and it's not lost on me. Where can you find me? Other than everywhere on motherfucking crazy, because I'm like on Facebook all the time. So I have Instagram, which is the Soap Dealer 1, I believe. I have Twitter, which is at Elvira's 1, but you could also find it at Pablo Escobar 1, which is trademarked. And then you can find it here with you guys.
Yep. And also the soapdealer.com, right?
Yeah, that was the soapdealer.com. Once I got that, I was like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, because I had something else and some other shit going on, some other drama. What the fuck is Jamal?
Laura?
What's Cuba Gold?
That's the bottom of the barrel. But that's 90 styles too. That joint used to come shaped like a cigar. It looked like a cigar, and you take the top off, and you spray that shit on.
Oh, I've seen those.
Yeah.
But what does it smell like? Similar to?
I don't know if there's something that it's similar to. It's its own entity.
I'm like, maybe I'll catch a mold just like that. But no, I've been cool with Dan for years now. I've met a lot of people through Dan. TJ, I have nothing but good things to say about you. Jamal, we're cool.
That wine is doing something.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, I like even David being on here makes me happy. Hollis being on here, the support has been amazing. Because sometimes you come over to small business and nobody supports it. The support has been amazing. You know, the Uno challenge, the Uno tournament, that was amazing. My brother was dope about it. So I just want to thank you all.
No, definitely. And one of them things is that, you know, we definitely got your back over here. We've had your back over here since day one when the soaps came out. You know, like I said, when I know I was one of the first few people to throw you money, because again, my favorite one, it got me, especially the write-up that you put about it, how it's really good for the skin, mainly because of the charcoal.
Yeah, it's different now, by the way.
That's fine. I need some more anyway, soon. And they last a long time too, especially if you get them the size that was inspired by me.
When you told me you were out of it, I was like, "Is he eating it?" Because like that's what you said.
Yeah.
No, look like how big this soap bar is.
Yep. That was also inspired by a conversation we had. It was like, you know what? Your big ass needs something bigger than the small ones I was making. And so she started to make the other soaps and larger bars too. So.
I did. That's true.
Yep.
I was making them this size. This size. This is a Vicks. But this is like a sampler Vicks, let's say. Vicks are making this size.
Nice.
And like I said, guys, it's okay to use down there. Just don't have no cuts, no STDs, and you won't burn. No open sores.
I was like, I don't know what to do with this because, like, what if it burns in certain areas. And my brother was like, my brother uses all my soaps. My brother and my dad, they were using all my soaps. And I'm like, you guys want to try this Vicks for me? They were like, no.
Yep.
I'm like, could you please just try this Vicks for me? Like, if it burns, it burns. Let's throw some cold fucking water on it. What the fuck? And they were just like, no. And I was like, yo, Dan, you gotta try this Vicks for me, bro.
and it worked. It like I said, it did the job. It worked out. So definitely everybody, man. Like again, we told funny stories about it, but it is more than just for the titis and the abuelas and the grandfathers and your uncles and all that.
And the Stetson. Keep it right.
Nah, every piece.
They keep it going, okay?
Now every piece of soap that I've used from her so far, especially like my father-in-law loves the oatmeal bar with the massage bar stuff on it too. Like everything.
Remember when I made that whole box for him?
Yep, it's everything I could tell y'all could testify that is good. Everybody that we've helped put on to the soaps, like I said, David. Everybody on the camera here, like, yeah, it's legit. Visit thesoapdealer.com to buy you some for real and support a good dope business. Hard work. Right. I mean, you've seen the hands. She does this. She does this for real. Works it to the bones for real. And yeah, what speedy recovery with that. But we got to move on to the last topics because we got to talk about some hard stuff now. And
I'm feeling.
Definitely. And we got some justice, if you want to call it that, Jamal, with the Ahmad. I
might walk around, but I'm gonna stay on.
That's fine. If anything, I'll mute you while you walk around, but it's all good. You definitely welcome to stay. Okay. All right, cool. So anyway, Ahmad Arbery, TJ, I mean, we finally got justice with that case. It took a couple months to resolve. The man, listen, that father and son duo, like the blatant, like just watching that case over, the blatant disregard for life that they had, even in comments and questioning, was just absolutely like, I mean, it felt like, well, yeah, we kind of knew this was what it was, but to see them tell the truth, TJ, was just like, wow.
You know, this is where privilege comes into play at, because they just thought they were right no matter what they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, they thought they were in the right for chasing him down. They thought they were right for stopping him, detaining him. Mind you, if this dude was stealing something, why would he wear a whole jogging outfit? Like, your man had like short shorts on and a t-shirt. What the fuck are you hiding that you're stealing from a construction site? You can't put a drill in a pair of jogging shorts. You can't put a circular saw. Like, what are you stealing? Like some knobs off the counter or some shit like that? Are you unscrewing shit? Like, what are you doing?
Ed said the Injustice League is stupid.
Shout out to Ed for that. That's perfect description.
Shout outs to Ed for that. Because if he was really stealing something, wouldn't he have dressed for the part? Wouldn't he have had a car to get away instead of trying to jog his way back to the crib? Like, it doesn't make sense. They saw this dude jogging through the neighborhood on a weekly basis. They said there was a string of robberies in the neighborhood. And you know who was stealing? Other white people. Not one black person was caught stealing from that neighborhood. But they blatantly ignored that, because this guy had to be doing something for jogging in our neighborhood. He must be suspicious. And they played themselves. And even though the jury was like all white except for one black person, they got it right. And I'm glad they got it right. They're going to jail. They're going to jail for a very, very long time. All of them are probably getting life, maybe without parole. Even the guy who was filming it, the third person who was out there filming it, he's getting life as well. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy how this case unfolded, and with these guys openly admitted in court for their stupidity. I mean, it was a slam dunk in terms of putting these people away for a very long time.
True indeed. And Jamal, like to add on, the former DA, that lady, she got arrested too.
That's my whole point. Is really, if you really want to talk justice, old girl has to get cleaned up because they tried to cover that shit up blatantly. They knew they had a relationship with those people. They tried to cover it up and dismiss it and bury it, and they just happened to get caught. But that's what goes on in most of these cases
Every
all around
day.
the country.
Every
That's why,
fucking day.
no matter if they got video or whatever, why it never goes anywhere, because of that shit. And you have to start making an example out of these DAs and ADAs, because that is the only way you're gonna break this shit down. You have to make an example out of them. They tried to cover that shit up. And
Jamal, you're absolutely right. Break up the good old boy network.
Yeah, the brazenness with how those guys came out and just thought they knew the jury, that they knew the people in that area, that this is the culture and it was accepted, that they could just say what they felt. I was like, oh, okay. You know, they thought they knew the jury. They thought they was going to get away with it.
And this comment right here from Hollis: hope they are able to investigate any prior cases she handled. Yo,
Word.
that
100%.
there can open up a whole can of worms that I'm not sure that town in Georgia is ready for. I really, but I mean, hey, this is it's a small. It's still in some cases it's a small victory. It's still a small victory, and again, to know that the jury,
it's a very small victory.
yes, and it's like to know that the jury was all white for the most part. They did get it right this time, because again, the blatant arrogance that these guys showed in thinking that they were right, and then further reading about it like earlier today, like citizens arrests are a thing down there, and you can do them if
Right.
a person was
But you have to catch them in a crime.
Exactly. And all you did was catch this kid running.
It's not even just that, bro. They had him in like a game of human manhunt. That shit went on for a minute.
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
He was running through that neighborhood hiding for his life. It was like, I forgot the name of that goddamn movie where they had Ice-T in this game. He's running through the woods.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they had them like. And then there's some stuff they didn't even put in. I wish I had the facts in front of me because I don't want to put out rumors. But that community has a Facebook group that they were talking about this shit while it was going on.
Terrible.
That's
so
insane.
It's crazy. Yeah,
that is crazy.
Terrible.
That's crazy.
But Facebook wants to throw warnings because somebody typed "coon" in a group. The Facebook should be going to shut them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's funny what Facebook does. I think that coon will fly, but you say something like something that's anti-right wing, they'll shut you down. You know, whatever. That's all story.
It said that defense attorney with the toe fetish worried about the victim's feet. I hope her law practices tanks into the sewers as it belongs.
It's crazy how these fools got law licenses and allowed to practice like that crazy.
But that's the narrative though. That's the narrative though. Like, you know, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna let that shit slide. You know what I'm saying? As long as it doesn't pertain to them, it's all good, and that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said before, there was a string of robberies in that community, and all the robberies that were committed were people that looked just like them, and they didn't have a problem with it. Okay, these people were leaving their cars unlocked on purpose, and they were saying, "Yeah, my car was robbed, but there was no break-in." What? How is that a robbery? You're on mute. You're on mute, sir.
I was saying you welcomed this, stupid. Like this ain't Mayberry anymore. This ain't no backwoods town where you could do that.
People were leaving their licensed, registered firearms in these cars with their cars unlocked. So if you broke into their house and you robbed these people, where was the gun at? It was in the car? Are you serious? Like,
you deserve to get shot.
Make it make sense. Make it make sense.
That's where I could say we should be thankful we live in towns where guns aren't legal, because idiots would do that. Idiots would oh, I left my car. You know how many times I accidentally leave my car door unlocked, and thankfully nobody goes in it. But I've had people like when I lived in the Bronx, my car would be locked. Niggas would break my window. I had my window broken for a damn GPS, and then they stole my Japanese PSP. They would steal guns like crazy out here if they knew idiots was doing that, leaving guns in cars and
Yup.
stuff like that. You
But
know,
why would you just get out the car and nonchalantly just think that it was all good? It goes back to what you said, Dan. Arrogance. The pure arrogance of nobody is going to mess with my shit, and I can leave it where I want, whenever I want, how I want, and it'll be all good.
Mhm.
And I was talking about this in somebody in another group. You shouldn't call it privilege anymore. You should call it arrogance, because that's what it boils down to at this point.
Oh, it's your
It's pure
audacity.
arrogance.
It's
The
your
audacity, audacity is at an all-time high in this country right now.
Your
All time.
audacity is at an all-time high.
Exactly, and couldn't well, he probably meant to say couldn't imagine living in New York City with loose gun laws. My guy, it would be the Wild West. Absolutely.
Oh,
I mean,
hell yeah.
Bro, it'd be 1982, bro. Come on, man.
but
It-
we're going on to loose gun laws. Another state in the South, Tennessee, Memphis, the city to be exact. Rest in peace
I
to the
was
rapper.
in Tennessee for a long time.
Rest in peace to the rapper Young Dolph. Lost his life, I believe, at the age of 36. It sucked to see this happen. Though we are hip hop heads here, I can say just about like every other podcast has been saying. I'll just add on. I wasn't the biggest fan of his music, nor did I know his music like that. I was familiar with who he was. I definitely was familiar with who he was, but I didn't know. You can't ask me to quote a song or quote any Dolph lyrics, but to know that this kid had, I mean, he's had his life challenged several times over until, unfortunately, was it a week or two ago, where his life was tragically cut short. As I read earlier today, he made a stop at a cookie place that he frequented. Also, was bigging up and putting them online, making little videos about them to help them get more press, more business and stuff. Which I found out the business name was named after a little girl who died of leukemia, that's a dope gesture. But he stopped at this cookie place and was on the way to a spot to give away turkeys. And he was scheduled to do that to two places. So, I mean, I don't know what this kid's street life was beforehand to have his life challenged so often.
So my thing is, so here's my thing, right? My thing is, and I'm here rapping, so my bad. My thing is, like, who cares what your life was before that? You wanna wrap up some turkeys for some people, whatever, like, that's fine. But even if your life before that was killing and shooting and all this and all that, you really want to kill somebody because they trying to wrap up some turkeys because some people need it?
Well, he got killed before going to give out turkeys. I'm just saying, like, that's to speak to the person's character.
He was ready to do it.
Right.
my thing is,
So it's like, that makes me think of some of my family members.
My thing is, if you've been pressed more than once about this situation and people have taken shots at you before, how are you not walking around adequately prepared for this to happen? I mean, I know it's your hometown, I know it's your city, and people have made attempts to end. Go ahead, Dan.
I will say, to add to that, I to my learning more about him in this situation, he actually, most of his cars are armored, bulletproofed.
Okay.
Even more reason to be walking around with like a vest on, or like,
he knew, like he was.
if my life is threatened in my hometown, I'm not gonna live there. You know what I'm saying? I can always come back and contribute. There's other ways. There's other ways you can give back to your community without being on the scene, as per se, like he was. But
Right.
if you're riding around in bulletproof vehicles for the most current times of your life, you got to take that shit with a grain of salt and be like, yo, any day could be a good day to get the drop on me. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what happened. You just can't walk around here nonchalantly thinking it's all good because you're in your hometown. If people are trying to end you,
That doesn't make it okay.
no,
Right.
I'm not making it okay. I'm just saying, be better. Know your situation. You know what I'm saying? Recognize that this wasn't the first time, and it probably wouldn't be the last time if there were several attempts and you're riding around in armored vehicles.
Right.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah.
And that's
No,
I'm not blaming him for what happened by any means. You know what I'm saying? But you got to read the room. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand the environment you're in.
You're right, but just to think and to speak on that though, like again, one, to have an armored vehicle, you've been challenged before, and you got to have the money to even be able to armor your vehicle like such. Which, if I had the money, even though my life ain't in danger like that, just because I would want one, I would want an armored vehicle, straight up and down. Two, in a state like that, people are still carrying guns even in the cars like that because it's legal to. So we don't know if he had one, but like Lacey just said, like that doesn't mean it was okay that this happened to him, and that's not saying that he wasn't prepared. You should be able to walk around. You should be able to walk around, especially when it's your hometown. You should be able to walk around. But the city of Memphis is just a wild. Like, there's been a lot of shit going on. Like, and for instance, I forgot the kid's name. I gotta pull it up. But there was a kid who, in some ways, I was called disrespect. Made jokes about it. The kid's name was.
Oh yes, I saw that.
His name was Deron Child. He went by D Money online and made some unsavory comments about Dolph, and jokingly, quote unquote, on Facebook and other places. And this kid got killed behind that. Like, you can't, Jamal. It's like, yeah, I get what TJ is saying, Jamal. It's like you got to move around in certain ways. You got to move around in certain ways when your life can be at danger at any time. But
yeah,
you got to know who you're going after. You got to know, especially like with this kid dying, Jamal. Probably behind this, you got to be a little smarter than that.
You gotta be smart. If you're driving around in armored cars already, that's a clue. Go somewhere else, man. Because it's not safe for you. And if you need an armored car, then you should be driving that shit all the time. There's no good day to take that out. It's sad as a whole because it's like rinse repeat. You know what I mean? With the whole situation. I wasn't as familiar with his music, but once I heard it was Memphis, I was like, yeah, Memphis.
Yeah, word. Memphis is a wild ass spot, and like David said, it kind of goes with what you mentioned, TJ, which I think we all agree. We see some of the most people. I was about to say some of the best, but like I was gonna mention, like a person like 50 Cent, he ain't living in Queens no more.
He ain't in Jamaica. He definitely ain't in Jamaica no more. You know what I'm saying?
A person like Fat Joe ain't living in the Bronx no more. You know what I'm saying? But David said, just get out the hood, man. I love Philly. It made me who I am, and I'll go back to visit, but I will not live there. And with him being so successful and hated, it just doesn't make sense. Rest in peace to Young Dolph. And that's just kind of what it is. It is rest in peace to the young man, because it's just a sad tragedy overall to get gunned down where you live in your hometown, bigging up you just left a business, bigging up a business and supporting the business, supporting a small company, and you were on the way to do good for the community. You were on the way to do good for the community, and we could just spin this around and look at it like, the community didn't do right by you. And not saying the community had to be out there being security, but I'm
Well,
saying it was the community who took him out.
No,
Somebody of the
he was
community.
he was a marked man in his hometown. That's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, no matter how much you're trying to give back, you know, you gotta understand your situation. That's all I'm saying.
So that's a great point. Like he was a marked man in his own town. That's a great point. Let's just say, for example, me, the soap dealer. I'm a marked woman in my hometown, but I still want to give turkeys out, and I still want to do all this. I don't have to go and do that on my own. I can send people. I can do things.
Yep.
I can. You know what I mean? Like it's like.
The gesture will not be lost. The gesture will not be lost.
I'm not blaming like, oh, you died because you wanted to die, or like, I'm not saying anything like that. I'm not saying like TJ, what you said, like, oh, he was a marked man in his own town, so whatever, he got what he got. Like, I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying, like, you can be anonymous. And
It's not even that.
It's not the first time that, like, with the soap dealer,
He got shot in LA too.
yeah, it's not the first time with the soap dealer that, because I work in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I know a lot of people don't know Brownsville, Brooklyn. Before I worked in Brownsville, Brooklyn, I worked in New Lots on New Lots Avenue in East New York in Brooklyn. I did the soap dealer there also. Nobody knew about the soap dealer. It was just, there's somebody who's doing something good here. And that's it. But people want notoriety. People want this name out. People want to know, like, yo, it was me who did it. And it was just like.
Is it a case of keeping it too real though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like you had to be the face. Your face had to be there to make it happen. Like, you shouldn't have to do that all the time.
But
exactly. No, and me and you, that's where me and you agree 100%. Where, like, if some shit is going down and I feel like it's unsafe, then hey, let's still keep doing it, but it don't need to be the soap dealer. It could be just whatever. We're giving out turkeys this year. That's it.
Right. You're saying you could have a representative. If you're of a certain stature, you know people are coming for you.
It's not even a representative. It's just.
But no,
It don't have to be you.
No, right. But still, the way people work with those fucked up mentalities is it could be. And you mentioned working in Brooklyn. Like, we're all of the old school of New York, where it could just be like, yo, this is an event thrown by such and such. People are going to come out and fuck it up just because they knew it was your event. That could happen still, even with you not being.
But you have to know that it was my event. That's
true too. That doesn't have to happen. But people know things. And when it's just sad that this kid, he had a target on his back for years. And that shouldn't stop somebody from still living life. That's just what I'm trying to get at. And it's unfortunate that this happened to him. But just because you are of certain celebrity, certain stature, certain income, you shouldn't be forced to have to stay in your house. Because, like, it brings this thought to my mind of
Nipsey.
That too, and that was just a fucked up case. It brings me to my boy Megatron. Rest in peace to my boy Megatron. He got killed because some kids was just showing off, and all he did was run to the store on the late night real quick. You know, all he did was just run to the store. Some kids started showing off and shot him for no fucking reason at all. You know, but it brings me to this Kool Keith song where he's talking about you can't go outside alone, and I think the hook goes, you can't go outside, and it goes alone in the rain, or you're alone at Alone at night and some shit like that. I think it was Alone in the Rain. But the song was talking about being a celebrity that is so famous that you can't leave your house because people are going to either try you, people are going to try to mob you for autographs, pictures, and all that. Like, you can't just walk freely. And that's part of the sad part of fame. And there's always going to be.
Yeah.
Look.
Sad.
If Jay-Z went back to the projects to give out turkeys, you don't think there'd be a Corndorf area with like police and security and all that
100%.
represented?
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
He would set that up. You don't think
Right.
he would set it up himself? He wouldn't just be like,
100%.
Right.
He wouldn't just be like, yo, I'm going back to
Yeah,
to
he's
the-
not gonna go out there by himself with like 3 people and be like, yo, I'm handing out turkeys. That wouldn't happen.
Old a lot smarter than that.
Yeah.
That's the,
Right,
that's the
but-
whole thing. Is that
And
And that's what we're
Old
talking
smart.
about. Yeah,
Right.
that's what we're talking
You
about.
gotta use your head, man.
But even still, even if you move smart, like even if you that's for a setup event. Are you really gonna just stage security and stuff just to go? And now he might have had stage security at the turkey events, but just to make a stop to buy some cookies. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. Like you can't so I gotta now stage security to go
So
to
I
the
know
supermarket.
exactly what happened with
Well,
the guy
Dan,
I'm talking about. Did he go to buy some Keebler cookies?
No,
No.
he went to a local cookie shop that it was like a homemade cookie shop
Like the
that he been supporting. But the people
well, you know
knew
what?
that he went there or they might have been tailing him,
somebody
we
in
don't
his
know.
team knew that he was going to be there because these dudes didn't just show up there not knowing he was going to
That
be there.
was the whole thing. And
Somebody
he
knew
was
he
without
was
the
going
car.
to be there.
Right.
You know what I'm
Without
saying?
the right car. Yep.
Right. So if somebody knew he was going to be there for that to happen, you got to look inward and be like, who knew he was going to be there at that time for these dudes to roll up and pop him? Like, that's wild suspect. That wasn't no random shit. You know what I'm saying? That was thought out. It was planned, and we're going to catch him at this time, and this is what we're going to do.
Right. Like let's read this book David wrote. And I dig
I highlighted that shit just now.
I said, and I dig where TJ's
Let's
coming
see
from.
which one.
Forgive me if I'm misreading you, big bro. The gesture doesn't get lost just because you're not physically there. Of course, it's nice to have the media cover you in a positive light, but sometimes you just don't need to put your face out there. And it sucks because it shouldn't have been that way. You should be able to host an event and show face without worrying about the possibility of death. Again, he got caught before making those events. I read about those events in the articles because it said that it was known that he was supposed to be on the way to those, but he obviously got stopped before then because the cookie place seems to have been a place that he frequented.
That's why I said somebody knew he was going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, quite
That's why
possibly, man. But all in all, the situation is sad.
I'll tell you what. I think Dan and TJ are the only ones who know. I work for Department of Homeless Services during the day. I don't announce that. I don't say, hey, I found somebody in an apartment today. Hey, I found somebody. I don't do that. So it's like, within your career, no matter what it is, there has to become a certain amount of privacy. And it's like, oh, he went to the cookie store, he went to the supermarket, or he went here and he went there. And it's like, how do so many people know where he went?
But here's an answer to that. He was in a camouflage Lambo. Those guys.
It was a Corvette.
Yeah, you're right. It wasn't a Lambo. Thank you, TJ. It was a Corvette. Those guys may have just seen the car he was driving and was like, "There goes Buddy right there." Was he gang affiliated? The gang affiliation part, I don't know. But when people know your cars, like you're a celebrity, you're a big time rapper.
People need to know your cars.
People know you.
I'm not saying I'm a celebrity at all. right?
Right.
I'm doing my soaps and I'm doing what I do for the homeless. However, not anymore, but I read Sentra. Was I on the internet saying, hey, I'm on a Red Sentra today, I'll get on the route,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, like, I feel like celebrities have to stop saying what the fuck they're doing. Be silent.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody needs to know the color of your car. Nobody needs to know what you're doing. Nobody needs to know where you're going. If it's something
nobody needs an itinerary of where you're going to be at all the time.
Right.
yeah. And if somebody needs to know what you're doing, because I get that, like, giving turkeys away is great. Because not everybody can.
What was that?
Can
Pop Smoke. That's how he got caught because he got bagged because he put his address out on the internet and people rolled up to his spot.
Yeah, well, he put a picture of the Airbnb of where he was staying up, and
that's crazy.
Google Maps is real, y'all. Like that's the Google Maps is real.
Yeah, it's very real.
But the difference though, and I the way you rounded up, Alicia, it's you're right. But the difference is when you are celebrity rapper A, people are going to see you in these things, whether you announce it or not. People are going to remember you by these things, whether you announce it or not.
See you and remember you and announce you and whatever if you're not.
No, right.
If you did the location.
I don't think he did that, but it's a thing of people knew to my understanding is people knew what that man drove.
I mean, the man's driving a camouflage Corvette. That shit's going to stick out anywhere. Like,
yeah.
If it was a black Corvette, then it'd be something different. But you drove a distinct vehicle,
right,
in the hood. Like people are going to see that shit.
And I get it, and I could sit here on day and be like, drive something else. But
if he was in a black Yukon, nobody would have thought any different of it. You know what I'm saying?
With a Nissan Sentra.
Right. But again, I stress the fact that it doesn't even really matter what you drive. If you are a popular figure, people are going to keep tabs on you whether you know it or not. And that's the thing, especially when you are unfortunately was a marked person like this guy who people tried his life several times. So his ops are going to know regardless if he tells, if he don't tell, if there's somebody in the camp that's mentioning it or not. You're going to, especially when you stay in your hometown, like Dave said, you got to get out. Even like thinking of Philly, and that was a place I wanted to move to. If I moved to Philadelphia now, it would have to be in like Manayunk or somewhere in the outskirts where there's mostly white people. I'm sorry, I love my black folks, but there's no me moving to North Philly. I've hung out at friends' houses in North Philly, but that's as far as it got. Like I'm not going to try to buy a property and live in North Philly. I would
because you're inviting that. You're inviting that attention. You're inviting that.
If you was said celebrity, absolutely yes.
Right.
If you said celebrity, absolutely. If you were quote unquote gentrifier who ain't from there but don't know better, but oh shit, this row house is only 30,000 and it's a fixer upper. I got 100,000. Let me go buy it for 30. And flip the other 70 into the house, then the neighborhood's gonna get the drop on you because they're gonna see you moving shit in and out, and then they'll get you. It's just people pay attention to shit going on in their neighborhoods, and if you are a person of money and of some certain kind of stature, it would behoove you to get the fuck out. Yes, it is okay to give love and show love to your cities, but get out.
Having said the line, he'll stay in the projects forever. That was bullshit.
True.
That was bullshit.
He lives upstate somewhere. You're
not doing that. Because the hood will come back for you.
Yes.
Yeah, the hood is gonna come back and they're gonna swallow you. So it's not cost effective. It's not life expectancy effective. None of that shit is gonna bring you any closure because you stayed in the hood. No.
Nope.
Everybody who's been famous or celebrity status has moved out at some point and moved better and lived a healthier life. You just can't stay where you are. And get your family out too. You don't want to be going back visiting your moms in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Get everybody out that means something to you and build from there. Just be smart about it.
Let me bring something up.
No matter how much loot I get, I'm staying in the projects forever. No.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, let's keep it real. A lot of city workers still live in the projects, making $100 a year, but hey, the rent's cheaper. I get it.
But you know what, Dan? Nobody's bragging about them making 100 G's in a project.
No, Dan, exactly, because me and you, we click because we work in the city. Exactly. Because they're taking advantage of the fucking system.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Take advantage of the
Nothing
same
wrong with
system.
that.
Take advantage of the system that takes advantage of you.
Shot in the fucking hallway.
I get it.
I don't want to fucking hear about it. Because you was trying to take advantage of the fucking fact that you were taking advantage of like living in how much rent?
Forest Hills or whatever. But you're not openly bragging about. You're not driving a fucking camouflage Corvette in your driveway. You know what I'm saying?
Forest Hills and fuck you up right now. Forest Hills, I could throw a rock to Forest Hills right now, and it's a great neighborhood.
It is. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, you know, if you're living, you know, in a hood, but you're making $100,000 or a little bit over $100,000, you're not driving a bulletproof camouflage Corvette to your crib. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you're not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. But not to dig down that rabbit hole any further because we need to wrap up. But
let's go. We can wrap up. We got time at 7:48.
I'm sorry because most people who do live in a project and do make great money because they're still only paying $800 a month in rent are driving Beamers, BMWs, all that shit because you can afford it. But the difference is how does the neighborhood respect you? And that's the difference. How does the neighborhood respect you? And it seems that whatever Dolph's dealings were in the past, they had little to no respect for the man, no matter what good he did for his community. So rest in peace to you, young Dolph. Rest in peace to this episode. This has been dope. This has been fun. Lisi,
I gotta tell you one thing. There's a Puerto Rican restaurant downstairs. Same address as me. I'm the only tenant upstairs. My brother told the owners like, "Hey, I'm moving to Florida. My sister's gonna be alone. Blah blah blah, whatever." As much as I didn't want him to tell them, he goes and he tells them. I see the difference in like mannerisms and all of this now, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, motherfucker, I have hands. Like, y'all want to act stupid right now? Let's act stupid right now. Because they were parking their motorcycle like in my alley, and they stood like closer to my alley and have like a garden, and then like closer to my alley, and like now it's like on top of my alley, and it's like.
Now you gotta be careful.
No, we gotta be careful. Be them.
I think a little bit of both because we don't want to see the wrath. We don't want to see you get hurt, so we don't want to see the wrath come out.
Yeah.
But with that being said, and while you're talking, you get the final shout outs.
Oh, the first one try. I figured you guys do this. So shout out to you guys, to Jamal, to TJ, to Dan. Dan, I love you to death. We've been friends for what?
A long time now.
2 years now, maybe more. TJ, we've been talking all week. We've been talking about like what's this gonna be about. I was a little nervous. I looked at that movie from Ghost. I get it. Over here I don't. Over here I have a color. What the fuck? But here I do. I look like Ghost. Jamal, yourcrew.com. So, yeah, shout out to all of you for making it comfortable for me. The comments, David, Hollis, everybody. Just shout outs to everybody.
And shout outs to that brolic ass cup of wine that you had. It made an appearance earlier. Big ups to the. What are you drinking?
It was him.
Oh yeah, you got the whole bottle in that cup.
When you said it's brolic, it was brolic.
That shit was filled to the top. That shit was filled to the top. That shit was filled to the
TJ. I'm talking to Dan, TJ.
Next up, shout outs to Jamal, who was slowly pouring his bottle of wine. I seen that.
Oh, that wasn't wine, brother. That was some ouzo.
Oh, okay.
I'm so glad the wine is over here. But no. Yo, shout out to the mayor, brother TJ. Thank y'all again for having me. Shout out to the soap dealer. Thank you for coming on and sharing the soap business with us. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Everybody watching the show out there. Want to shout out the Knicks for that win yesterday over Trae Young and the ATL.
That was a good win. Yeah. TJ, I'm just trying to get the yes.
Shout out to my lowly Giants for sending them suckers back up 95 to that city, in Pennsylvania. And that's it.
TJ.
Who's playing? What is that?
You sound like you're peeing in the toilet.
Oh shoot! Shout out Disabled Planets too.
Yes. I shout you out every week, Jamal. I shout you out every week, brother. Hashtag Disabled Planet. Yo, shout out to Jamal. Love having you on every, when you can get a chance. Love it. Shout out to the soap dealer. Can't wait to try some soaps from you. Shout out to the man for making this happen. Everybody in the comments. It's been another great episode. Love it. Love doing this every week. You guys make my week. On a Sunday, it wraps it up very nicely for me. So shout out to y'all and shout out to everybody making it happen. Everybody have a good holiday. Be safe. Don't do nothing stupid, please. We can't afford none of us to be locked up anymore. And on that note, be good.
And the holidays passed already, so now it's countdown to my birthday. Well, actually, I don't even count my birthday anymore. It's countdown to my daughter Zoe's birthday and my daughter Danielle's birthday. Y'all know what to do. Hit that QR code. Lizette, thank you finally for showing up on the show. You know you've been welcome. You're always welcome. The wine is welcome again too. Hopefully next time those fingers are better. Jamal, all the time.
They're getting better.
Good. Jamal, you already know. Welcome all the time, TJ. And for the rest of the team, say peace. We'll see y'all.
Hashtag Disabled Planets.